Hi, my name is Greene. I'm a 55-year-old husband, father, and author from Cincinnati, Ohio. I want to share my testimony with you guys and hopefully it'll bless you. I've lived in Cincinnati my whole life. I was raised by two alcoholic parents. There were drug use in the house. Growing up in the 60s and 70s was pretty tough. There wasn't a lot of food at times. Sometimes the water was cut off, maybe the gas was cut off. It was just a really hard environment. I was the youngest of 11. Abuse was something that was always in our home. One of my earliest childhood memories was the smell of alcohol and smoke. I really didn't know what that was until I got older. My mom never told me she loved me. I had no idea it would affect me to the extent that it does to this day. My father was a truck driver. He was gone most of the day. He would come home late at night. And my mother was so verbally and physically abusive to all of us, we really just tried to stay out of her way. And when Daddy came home at night, it was just like joy had walked in the door. So all the kids would run and cling to Daddy, and I could see the disappointment and the anguish in her face. It wasn't that we didn't love her, it's just we didn't know how to be around her without getting hurt. When I turned out maybe 12 or 13, after seeing all the partying and drinking and drug use in our home, I was so tired of being depressed and couldn't figure out why my mom didn't tell me she loved me and wouldn't show me love. One night I snuck downstairs and I started sneaking one of my dad's beers and one of his cigarettes, and I had no idea the door I had just opened. Before you know it, it was every night sneaking beer and cigarettes. About maybe 8 months to a year of that. That was the first time I tried cocaine. I had no idea that I would be hooked for 16 years. Now I'm about 17 or 18. I fall in love with my first wife. She tells me she's pregnant, and I was a full-blown addict by then. And one of the toughest things I had to do was tell her to leave me. I knew I couldn't be a father to the kids. I knew I couldn't be a husband to her. And that was the best thing she ever did, was leave me. About a year after that, my addiction was so bad, I went to court and I was thousands of dollars behind in child support, and they sent me to prison. And as sad as that sounds, by the grace of God, that was the best day of my life. All the judges before this judge just kept playing with me and slapping me on the wrist, 20 days here, 30 days there. This judge, I have to say his name, Robert Ruhlman, because I love that man. He said, "Rick, you're going to prison." So I left court, I went home, I get back. I had to go to court one more time for sentencing. That day when I got up, I didn't want to die, the addict. That maybe was the first time in my life I sincerely cried out to God. I'm in the bathroom, I'm crying. I break my cigarettes, I pour the alcohol out, I pour the cocaine out. I ask God to cleanse my tongue. Nobody can tell me God isn't real, because I asked God to remove my desire for alcohol and drugs, and that's exactly what he did. After crying and getting back up on my feet, only way I can say it to you is I was a new man. I was a different Rick. Went to court, got sent to prison. I did my time in prison. The boy is still in prison, but a man came out. And I just want people to know that you don't have to die an alcoholic and drug addict. The one thing that I can't take out of the equation is me. I can't blame my parents, my aunts, and my uncles, and my friends. Nobody made me try alcohol and drugs. I suffer from the same thing you suffer from, or we're all blessed from it. It's free will. I didn't know what I was doing at the beginning, but if it wasn't for my free will, I wouldn't be in prison. And by the grace of God, I have a wife that loves me today. I have two sons that love me. And the thorn in my side and the pain in my heart, I have 4 sons with my ex-wife that I'm ashamed to say I don't know. I did choose alcohol and drugs over them. It does hurt to have 4 boys in Cincinnati look just like you and you don't know them and they don't know you. And I pray to God daily for all 6 of my sons. I pray to God that someday they'll let me in their life as just their friend. I know it's too late to be their father. I would just love to be their friend. And I believe God's going to make that day possible. And now, like I said, I'm married, me and my wife in the choir. I work every day. We have a home. Are we perfect? No. Do we have everything we want? No. But we have peace, joy, and love, and we have the grace of God in our life. I love who I am today. I wish I could change the past, but I can't. But I refuse to live there too. Now I know that might not make sense to some people. I'm never going to give up on my 4 older sons, and I just pray to God that they don't give up on me. I know that's easier to say than do because they don't know me. I'm just probably that stranger mama told them about. But I'm not the old stories they heard. I'm a different Rick. When Jesus freed me, he freed me. And today, I have 3 books. I'm a published author. The autobiography is called Spirit Works, A God Story, Freedom from Addiction. I have a children's book called Dream Time. I have a book of poetry called Spirit Lifters. All of my books are available on Amazon and Kindle. I want people to know that God loves you right where we are. And I'm grateful for grace and mercy. I don't deserve either one. Jesus gave it to me freely, and I accept it freely. I refuse to dwell on the past. I glance back every now and again just to see how far God has brought me. I'm trying to be the best Rick I can on a daily basis.